Welcome to Israel, or as many people call it, the Holy Land. But Israel is a land of many things. It is a land of diverse geographical regions. It is a land of beauty. It is a land of war. It is a land of rich culture and history. But maybe most importantly, it is a land of religion. Israel is inhabited by many different religious groups: the Jews, Muslims, Christians, and Druze. For centuries, these distinct groups of people have lived together, both peacefully and violently, but nevertheless together in a country no bigger than the size of New Jersey. Many unwarranted stereotypes have been attached to these people, sometimes based on religion and heritage. Israel is a country that many people assume is backwards, but is it really? One way to find out is by asking a particular group of people who are frequently stereotyped: the women. But first, it may be important to get a feel for what other people outside of the country think in regards to how women in Israel are treated in today's world.
I just hear that they don't have as many rights and things like that. But again, I don't know which region I'm really speaking on.
I can imagine that they don't really have any rights, and I'm sure there's no freedom of speech or anything like that. So I'm sure women are better off here, definitely.
I know they're treated like they have to be quiet and not speak out their opinions, and I guess be really conservative and hide their bodies and stuff like that.
It seems like they're not really allowed to be people.
I know that there's a lot of fighting there surrounding religion.
Okay.
So.
Certainly not how they're treated here.
They have to stay covered, right?
Yeah, I know that.
So let's get some facts straight. The Jews make up 75.6% of the Israeli population, a clear majority. Muslims consist of 16.9%. Christians are a small 2%. And Druze make up just 1.7% of the Israeli population. Although Israel is a small country, it would be very difficult to meet with women from every city. So instead, let's take a look inside one particular area that is full of mixed villages, including Jews and Arabs of all faiths. Welcome to Western Galilee. First things first, we should knock out the stereotype that all women must be covered up in headcloths and long skirts. Sure, some of them are, but others feel perfectly fine with revealing their bodies as much as any other American would. The first group of women we meet along this journey are the Jews. Both conservative and liberal, these women have much to say on how they are treated.
To be a religious Jew means living according to halakha. Halakha being the world of law, of basically defining the way in which you do things.
I'm not at all a religious person. I do not follow religious rules. This does not mean that I do not believe in God, but I do not follow the Jewish, I do not follow any rules that come from the Jewish administration of religion.
And I'm quite a religious Jewish person. I'm not very religious, but I light candles on Friday nights and I firmly believe in God, etc., etc. On the one hand, on the other hand, I believe in one God. So, I say that I'm Jewish, but it doesn't really matter. I believe in the same God that he believes in. I believe in one God.
Well, I was born in Denmark with a very Zionist conscious family. My grandfather was the head of the Danish Jewish community. My father was vice president. My mother was the first woman in the Knesset of the community. Not at all religious. I would say more or less that I grew up without religion.
What many people outside of Israel don't know is that most Jews, some say close to 90%, are secular and non religious. Many of these Israeli citizens do not consider their country to be religious.
I'm quite sure that the way I know America, America is much, much more religious than Israel, for sure. The way I see Americans from the year that I spent there, almost everybody in America has something to do with the church or with the synagogue. It's just your way of life. And over here it's completely different.
The next group of women are the Muslims. Some are very strict, while others are much more modern in their practices.
האישה צריכה להיות לבושה. ושתעשה כל המנהגים שחייבת האישה לעשות לפי הדת. וגם, כן, תתפלל. וגם ללכת לחאג' לסעודיה. ושתאמין באלוהים שרק הוא אחד. ותשמור על עצמה כאישה. ותשמור על הכבוד שלה מבחינת ביטולים וזה. זה אסור. ולתת לילדים שלה, למסור להם את מנהגי הדת ומה זה מוסלמים, למה האישה אחראית על הכל.
אבל מה שלפי הדת אני צריכה להיות לבושה עם כיסוי על הראש, בג'לביה, וכאילו זה מה שצריך, אבל אני לא עושה את זה. כל אחד הוא מחליט מה הוא רוצה. כאילו אני מאמינה באלוהים ואני מתפללת, אבל כאילו קשה לי, לא, מה זה קשה לי? קשה לי עדיין כאילו לשים חיג'אב וג'לביה. אני אומרת בהמשך, אני כן רוצה, אבל אני לא יודעת מתי ואיך, אבל אינשאללה.
אני גם, הדת היא לא מכוונת אותי מבחינת בחירת סגנון חיים שלי. יותר, אני כן ממושמעת יותר לתרבות, שהתרבות בעיקר היא מושפעת הרבה מהדת. ואני לא עושה דברים שהתרבות מגדירה אותם שמחוץ לגבולות שלה. גם כי אני מנסה לא להיות דחויה מהתרבות שלי. האנשים שאני חיה איתם הם חשובים לי. המשפחה, החברים, הכפר, החברה שלי בכלל. אז אני מנסה לייצר את החופש האישי שלי מצד אחד, אבל בצורה שלא תגרום להם להקיא אותי בתוך החברה.
Christian women do not necessarily define themselves as being religious or non-religious. They say they are simply Christian.
As I said, there isn't a religious Christian and non-religious Christian. At least not in this, I think even in the whole world. If you're Christian, you're Christian. You go to church on Sundays, they teach you how to pray. But it depends also on how you choose to live your Christian life.
I like it. I like religion. I like the religious ways of life. In a Christian, I like it very much. I think religion
let you have answers for all these questions and live with them in a certain way, and not be confused with all this way of life. I choose religions.
Druze society is not one that many people know about because they belong to a secret religion.
It is a secret, but it's really, Druze society is really a very beautiful society. And by beautiful, I mean everything that includes inside any society, from behavior to norms and rules.
Now I want to explain first of all a few sentences in English, and then I want to tell you more about the Druze community in Hebrew, that you can explain this. Okay, the Druze community, we have a secret religion, and we believe in reincarnation, and we believe every person who's born like as a Druze, he stay Druze, and we cannot accept anybody to come to the Druze community.
Each of these women come from different backgrounds that both defy and conform to modern stereotypes. But with their different viewpoints, how do they define themselves and each other in the world today?
It's a country where you're looked at as what religion and ethnicity you're from. This is the first thing that everyone who doesn't know you, who want to make acquaintance, will ask, and this is how you're first defined.
In Israel, the religion is a critical issue, whether you're Jewish or Muslim. Racism in Israel is based on Jewish or Muslim.
I think in Israel, in general, all of us suffer from really not knowing that much about the other.
בוא נגיד, אם אני נוסעת לעיר, אז אני כל הזמן חושדים בי. אם אני נכנסת לקניון או משהו, אז בגלל שאני דתייה, אז אני חשודה. זה מה שמפריע לי כל הזמן. כשהייתי לפני שאני הייתי דתייה, אז לא היה כלום, אבל אחרי זה, אז התחילו להיות יותר קשים.
אז אי אפשר לדבר היום על אישה דרוזית או אישה יהודית או אישה נוצרייה, כי בתוך כל קבוצה יש הרבה נשים, וזה אין אישה אחת שהיא טיפוסית בכל היהדות או בנצרות או באסלאם. אם תקחי אותי כאישה מוסלמית, ויש הרבה כמוני, לא מעט, אני לא טיפוסית בכלל לאסלאם.
Clearly, there are stereotypes against women and religion, not just from other countries, but within Israel itself. But really, it depends on the individual as to whether or not they see religion as a good or bad thing for society. As a result, even though people may share the same religion, each individual has a different opinion on whether religion brings happiness and freedom or not. First, take a look at the Jewish perspective.
I think there's stereotypes attract to probably everybody who are not true. Certainly to Jewish women, and certainly to religious Jewish women, I'd say for sure, that a lot of things are perceived as things that hold women down or hold women back. Most of the time I don't see it that way.
The Jewish way of treating, the religious Jewish way of treating women is just, I do not accept it. And I do not want it to be accepted in Israel.
A Jewish woman, I think that from the religious point of view, you've got a very big place of respect for the mother in the home. For the mother in the home. She's the mother, she's the queen of the home. The husband is mefarnes and whatever, but the mother is like, from her children and her husband, she's the queen.
The religion does discriminate. I remember my two older boys' bar mitzvah really offended me. It was like, I'm the mother of the bar mitzvah boy and I'm not allowed to come in where the whole thing is.
I sometimes don't like to call it limitations. There are defining moments. Sometimes those things are defined differently than they are for men.
They do not care very much to show that we are one. They want us to be separate.
Most of the time I don't see it that way.
And I do not like this at all.
The Muslim community has been criticized all over the world for many reasons. Most people believe religious Muslim women are not happy because they feel these women are not given the same rights as men. But is that how all Muslims, both religious and secular, see it?
ברור, יש דתיות שהן לבושות, הן מרוצות, ויש כאלה שלא, ויש כל מיני.
דת בעיניי יש בה משהו כפייתי, שכופה על אישה ועל גבר, סגנון חיים מסוים, ולא משאיר מקום לבחירה.
כל אחד הוא מחליט מה הוא רוצה.
אם אני רוצה להיות דתייה, אז אני בוחרת, אם אני אבחר בסגנון החיים הזה, זה יגביל אותי גם איך להתלבש, איך להתנהג, מתי לעשות ואיך לעשות, ואני מרגישה שזה משהו שמגביל את החופש האישי שלי.
A Muslim woman, first of all, her husband can take 4 wives, and she's just one of them, and she has no say in the matter whatsoever. Second of all, she's just an object of, she's a slave.
הכל זה טוב, וזה טעות שאומרים שלא משווים בין האישה לגבר. האסלאם זה הוא שמשווה, שהתחיל להשוות בין האישה לגבר. יש לה כל מיני חלקים בחיים, ויש לה כל הזכויות ששמורות לה, ויותר מגבר.
הדת מצפה מהאישה שתהיה למען הגבר, ממושמעת, כאילו הוא האדון והיא צריכה לשמוע בקולו.
בהכל, מההתחלת שהיא, אפילו שהיא, בוא נגיד שהיא, מאז שהיא נולדה, הילדה יש לה זכויות ויש לה כל מיני דברים שהגבר חייב לעשות לה, גם מבחינת הדת, חייבים לעשות לה, בוא נגיד.
Within the Christian faith, religion still sets borders on how people live their lives. However, some see this in a negative way, while others see the benefits.
Most of the times, but it's not fair to say that it's always. Most of the times, religions just limit your life in a non-positive way.
The open way of modern life, everything is open, everything. You have to have some borders in how to feel. And I see the religion even contribute for the good to have some borders in your life.
I did see the limitation that other women are facing and decided that I will not even face them because I will just do what I want and whenever I want it, and career-wise and in everything else.
Maybe in my personality I like to have borders, not everything is open or everything is a mess. I see it as a border, a good way, not in a bad way.
Every religion has its own limitations and points of view on how women and everyone else also should live.
Inside the secretive Druze society, women are not given the same opportunities as men. But many Druze women have very positive outlooks on the future of their culture and realize that education is key to the development of women.
Being a girl is itself a limit. It limits you from anything that is outside the society. It's not like the boys, Druze boys in society.
על פי הדת הדרוזית, לאישה הדרוזית ישנה זכויות הרבה יותר אפילו מהזכויות של הגבר. אבל החברה הדרוזית הינה חברה פטריארכלית. ולכן הגבר או הגברים בתוך העדה הדרוזית הם רוצים שיובילו את ההנהגה של העדה.
A woman needs to stand behind the man. A woman needs to follow her man. The more the Druze village is far from Jewish cities, they are much more behind. They have their own perspective. Man is first, woman is the second one.
I can be mother, wife, part of the family, and academic women, career women, and success also there. And don't forget that I'm a Druze woman.
Education is the main key on I can say also that the main weapon for those girls to show themselves, to show that they are girls, but they are also members, very important members in society.
There is no way to determine whether one viewpoint is better than the other. Religious and non-religious people alike must learn to accept the other's lifestyle and become more open-minded. Being Jewish gives people an advantage in the workplace over the Arabs. That's the way racism works in Israel.
I think Jewish women have more opportunities than Arab women still.
Muslim or Druzi or Christian people find it very, very, very difficult to find a job in Israel.
As an Arab woman, I'd see some limitation in workplaces, in way of life.
אני מרגישה שיש גבולות מסוימים שאני מתנהלת בתוך הגבולות האלה. והגבולות האלה מוכתבים בגלל התרבות שלי ובגלל המדינה ואופי המדינה והיחס של המדינה אליי כאישה ערבייה.
And I think there are people in the world like the Bedouins or some Arab women, the less fortunate ones that will live their life feeling sorry for themselves. And quite rightly so. Or with a chip on their shoulder that they were given a bad deal.
Everyone has their own opinion on religion. Many women are happy with their lives while others are not. And maybe that's the real question. Are these women happy?
Yeah, I would say I'm happy. I am.
I think so. I think so. If I think of the women around me, you know, in my either work environment or friends or whatever, in general.
I don't think you can make a generalization like that. There are women who accept it.
יש אולי חלק כן או אולי חלק לא. למשל, אני מאושרת.
אני מנסה להיות happy. אני לא מרגישה שאני שמחה.
אני מאוד מאושרת ומאוד נוח לי. אני ניסיתי הרבה דרכים, אבל זאת הדרך שאני משלמת איתה והרבה נוח איתה.
אני צריכה להצדיק את המקום שאני נמצאת בו. ואני חושבת שזו תגובה בלתי מודעת לאי חופש הפנימי, שהוא נובע מהיותי אישה, מהיותי בתרבות מסוימת, במדינה מסוימת, וכנראה אני חושבת שזו חוויה נשית באיזשהו מקום, אז אני לא שמחה.
I think the Christian women feel lucky.
Some are and some aren't, yeah. Some are having more harder time.
I think they are. I think where they are today, they are happy.
No one is 100% happy, but yeah, generally I'm not a sad person, yes.
You can't make it like a general saying, say, Druze women are happy.
הנשים הדרוזיות באופן כללי הן מאוד שמחות ואוהבות את צורת החיים שלהם. בכל מיני בחינות, הן גם מקבלות זכויות.
Where I come from, women are happy. And they can depend on themselves. They are free to go out for education, for work. But the village I got married to is a village where women still, they need to stay at home. They're not allowed to do some things. So you cannot say all women are happy.
Religion aside, being a woman in Israel can be very challenging. Even in today's society, there is no equality between men and women, but there is hope for a future.
In America, there's no equality yet, and the same goes to Israel too. Women have to fight really for each and every very small step that we do.
Israel is very much a man's world, you know, very military orientated.
Men do not give up their superior positions very easily.
No matter how much we want it to be a Western country, this is still the Middle East. And a lot of the things, I mean, discrimination against women are much less in Israel than in the neighboring countries. But if you compare to the other countries that I lived in, Denmark, Switzerland, United States, well, we're lacking behind.
They are fellows. We work together. We work together. They see if what they are working is only for men, and they see women like us or something. They say, oh, it's not a woman job.
It's a long process, but women are not anywhere near equal right now.
But it is getting better. Either that or I'm getting more used to it. I don't know.
Looking past stereotypes, disagreements, and problems, Israel is still a home for all of these people, a place where family and history unite.
Israel would be my home. That would be the only place in the world where I could say, I belong there. I've got every right in the world to be there.
I think Israel is a very special country because Israel is one of the countries that believe in women.
What I believe that in Israel we have a good life.
The dream about Israel is fading. It's not what it used to be. And people were much more optimistic. It was like, you know, we're building something, we're making something, we're getting there. Now the mood is different. It's like we've done everything we could and we're still not getting there. Maybe we'll never get there. It's sad to see the difference in people's attitudes. Now, everybody says, okay, I live in Israel because that's where I was born, that's where I live. Not because we're building something that's going to succeed. I really don't know if I would have come to Israel if I had to make the decision now.
Yeah, no.
There are so many things to learn by opening one's mind to another culture. Maybe Israel isn't as backwards as outsiders seem to think it is. It is a country full of life, religion, and promise. Religion has its difficulties. Being a woman has its difficulties. But woman to woman, no matter the differences, the future for them shines brightly in Israel.
I just think that well, the women I see around me and that I'm aware of, I've got a lot of respect for them, and I think that they're very creative and wonderful.
I really respect how they succeeded. It's not easy. I see how hard for them to succeed.
And being in a society where I think there's a high level of people caring about each other.
I want to have a society which is just and which cares for the children and for the weaker members.
Hello, I am here. I'm a Druze girl, but I can do what any other girl in other society can do.
ואני לא הרגשתי שאני אישה רק כשאני הייתי ככה דתייה. אני מרגישה שאני הולכת בכביש, אני אישה. בתוכי ובנפשי ובעיניים של כולם, שאני אישה.
Every woman should believe that she can do it, and also she can be the first, not just the second. And it's began to believe in ourselves, to believe that I can do it.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
I grew up with two brothers, and we were very close. I mean, there are 2.5 years between my two brothers, and I'm in the middle. And I remember wanting to be a boy like them when we grew up, because it was so much easier. I don't want to be a boy anymore, but I still think it's in many ways easier to be a man than a woman, but it's much more interesting to be a woman.